YouTube! How you guys doing today? It's Mike, Pratt Family Homestead. Today I'm finally getting this hayfield cut. It is way overgrown. If you remember, if you've been following us, and it is really windy out here today. But my sickle broke on the first swipe of cutting this field a long time ago. I finally got the parts order. I finally got it put back together, and I'm out here cutting it. This is a huge pain. It is so overgrown. It never had its first cut. It should have already had a second by now, and I should be looking forward to a third, I would think. But this is a mess, and so when I'm cutting it, you can't even tell. I can't even tell where I've gone to cut it. It's so thick underneath and everything. It just stays standing up, basically. So I'm constantly getting off and I have to figure out where I've cut, where I haven't, and it's just a pain. But the sickle is cutting really good. I'll show you where I had to make repairs on that sickle. But definitely wanted to show you guys today that I'm out here cutting this way overgrown hayfield. So let's go check it out. I don't know how well everybody will be able to see this, but you see all these plates here? There is a plate and a wear plate under here. Then I can't remember, 3 or 4 shims under here. And then this plate on top all holds this knife down and in place. And then there's this one here also. I have a new one of these as well, and it holds the knife down in place. None of these plates on this side were here. There's a total of, I think, 2 plates, a wear plate, and 2 or 3 shims. None of these were here. This bar was bolted directly to this inner shoe. And it's worked great over the last year or two that I've had it. But then the actual bar with the knives snapped like on the old one right about here. This is a new bar with the knives on it. I'm being a lot more diligent with keeping this oiled. And it seems to be working good. So we got this old IH sickle, which if you guys saw the video on that I put out, we got my old trusty 8N pulling it, and we're cutting hay. Okay, here's my problem with this hay field. I'm not making it a real pretty cut because I can't tell what's been cut and what hasn't. Now, this stuff's been sitting overnight. It is obviously fallen down, and that is well and dandy. But I don't know how well you guys can see on video. It's even hard to tell. This has been cut. This has not. Now, yesterday after I made this cut, when I come back around and make another cut, this has fallen down a little bit right now, so it's kind of hard to know what I'm talking about, but for you guys to understand what I'm talking about. But it's not falling down immediately. It's so thick, so heavy that it's basically staying standing. So when I come back around, I can't really tell where I've been. It's a guessing game. And then if I'm over too far in the cut stuff, it likes to clog up on this inner shoe really bad. So I know I need to implement a better grass stick than this. This one actually, they make a piece of rebar that comes out like this, and it's got an eyelet and it goes in that bolt down there. I need to fashion something like that. For normal hay cutting, that has been perfectly fine, that board I fabricated there. That's been perfectly fine, but for this, I don't even know if the bigger hay stick would help. But so I still got a lot to cut. I was very happy with how it went yesterday. It was a little frustrating. I'm constantly unclogging the sickle, and it's not the sickle's issue. It's this way overgrown hay field that hasn't been cut yet at all this year. So yeah, I got a pretty good area here still to do, and I got the far side to do. So I'm gonna be doing this for quite a while today still. But I like it. It's fun. It's frustrating and it's clogging, and I gotta get off kind of a lot, but the sickle's doing its job good, and the tractor's doing its job, and it's actually kind of fun, even if it is frustrating. All right, I really need to get to this. There's a lot to do, and I gotta go slow about it. just moved this big pile. It got stuck up it. If I get too far over into the already cut stuff, it really clogs up right here. Today, I am seeing better where I need to turn in. I'm not having to get off the tractor as much to see. But I have been having to get off the tractor and dig through and see where I've cut and unclog stuff like this. So it's going good. It's good. But well, that's how it's going. This area is just about done. I got, what do you think, babe? 2 or 3 more circles to do right here. This will be done. Then I gotta go tackle that area. And look how. So here's what's in this hay. Old, really dried out stuff that does not, to me, look moldy or anything. I was really kind of worried about that. And we've also got the good green stuff that needs to dry out. So I think, for the most part, this is all salvageable. In fact, it will be salvageable. If they don't want to eat it, they don't want to eat it.
I noticed when I walked up, the stuff that you cut yesterday is crunchy. It's already like drying very well.
Even this stuff is.
Yeah, there's a crunch to it. I mean, it definitely has some drying to do, but
oh yeah,
yesterday's stuff is, it's so dry here.
The weather is so nice for all this right now. For the next 4 or 5 days, we're supposed to have a little bit higher temps at like 80s, low 80s. Lots of wind. It's been really windy the last 2 days, and I don't know about
rain.
I don't know about the forecast, but yesterday I was sweating, but the humidity was low yesterday.
Yeah.
And I think it is today too.
Yeah, it doesn't feel sticky.
All right, so I just want to show you guys a little bit of the cutting here. This is what I'm doing today. All right, sickle gurus, I got a question. They say sickles cut better if this end out here, this outer shoe, is leading the inner shoe by, I think they say 2 to 4 inches. So if you were to measure a straight line off this tire, this would be, we'll say, I'm just gonna make up numbers, 24 inches back to the guards, and up here, 20 inches up to the guards. This one's not doing that. This one's cutting, it's doing a great job cutting. I got 0 complaints. But I think even looking at it, you could tell it trails behind. Come over here, babe. Looking at this setup, get a shot of all this. I can't figure out what would I tune up, what would I adjust to get this to come up forward a little bit more. Like I said, it's working great. Under normal conditions, I don't even think I have to, but will it work better if I get that lead end ahead of this end? But yeah, take a look at all this here, babe, real close. I can't figure out what would adjust that. I also have no doubt this is maybe all combobbled together. Since I can't find a correct model number on it, as you saw in my other video. So, all right, so what we're gonna do is, I don't have hydraulics. We're gonna raise this blade up, and I'm gonna go over there and figure out where I'm gonna start cutting. I will pull some grass with me doing this, but while it's up,
Butterfly.
my doctor would be proud of me. I just ran.
I told him, I said, while it's up, he's going to go run a marathon. That's a quick marathon, babe. You're fast.
My little portable oiling system, which they've already seen me oil the bar before I started. And the nail. Because I need to do a perimeter cut along the electric fence.
Yep.
Without hitting the electric fence.
Yeah.
Which I did last time. That it ran under the electric.
Oh, you're crazy.
So that means I need to come this way for a cut. I think I'll do that. I think I'll go over there and I'll come and I'll cut this way. And then I'll just turn it around in this already cut stuff and then start normal rotation. I think that's what I'll do.
Okay. I'm gonna move. You can see the difference in our hayfield. All of this stuff right here is all nice and green and flowered and pretty, and then there's this brown dead looking stuff. This is what Mike actually managed to get one swipe around, and then over right around this corner from our bees and stuff is where the sickle broke. So the rest of it never got touched for, well, for a very long time. So finally got all the sickle parts in, you got the sickle whip back together, and now we're back to mowing. But that's why our hayfield looks the way it does.
I just tightened all the bolts on the guards and everything. Only one was about 1/8 of a turn loose, so everything's staying tight. That's awesome. And I'm gonna stay far away from the fence, because we're gonna mow it later.